Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Simon Chan. I'm here to fire you up and get you going because we all know we need some motivation like the way we need oxygen. And a happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. No, happy Wednesday. Hey, it's midweek. This week's been flying by. We're into like the second week of August already. Hope you are having a great week so far. And if you're not, hey, remember the weekly routine we have. We go plan out your week, set your activity goals, and you execute and work on that plan. All right, today, we're going to talk about investing in connections and one of the important parts of success. But before we start off, hey, how has your week been so far? On the scale 1 to 10, how's your week? My week has been like a 7. Remember, stay on track on your weekly goals, on your activity goals as well. All right. And then on Friday, hey, we work hard until the final bell. And then Saturday, we relax a little bit, and then you go hard again. Create that business, the weekly rhythm. All right, we're talking about investing connections. Give them a shout out, Bob. Good morning. Good to see you here. Lena, good to see you. Natasha, good morning. And hey, two quick updates before talking about connections. I'll give you something to think about. Is number one, with our social media workshop back. Thank you for your patience. We have like a 3.5 months wait on that with the book launch, with my summer travels. But we have one coming up next Saturday. Drop in workshop in the comments. Talk about I'll send you a link where you can register. And we also will have a webinar coming up next week. Okay, I have the stuff prepared for you. It's a free training open to everyone. Drop in webinar in the comments, and I'll send it out to you. Do you have a question from Natasha? I'll share this and I'll answer your question in a little bit. Okay, how do you track connections? I'll answer that as well. So today I want to talk about investing in connections. Something for you to think about, right? Part of the DMO. We're talking about the DMO cheat sheet. By the way, you don't have a copy of this, let me know. I'll send it to you. Just drop in DMO. Is meeting new people every day. Meeting new people and follow up. And I want you to invest in connections, right? Because life often will provide you with unexpected opportunities. And you don't know which are the most important moments. You never know, right? And above all, it's the quality of the relationships that determine the quality of your life. So invest in your connections, even those that don't seem that important. Some of the biggest breaks I've had in my life were with people that connected, and we had a drink, we had a coffee, a hangout, and I never expected much when I was with that person. And then it led to something. And often sometimes the ones, and I think a good rule is the ones you expect a lot, you end up not having anything. And the small ones you don't expect much lead to great things. Okay. I can think about that in my career early on, in my network marketing business, even with my baseball, my boys, something to help my oldest son, were relationships I never thought were going to lead to big things, gave a lot of opportunities. So you just never know. Go out there and get to know someone today, right? Someone you communicate with, is online or someone in the community. Spend a few extra moments to get to know that person. Because remember, your network determines your net worth. All right, to answer a couple questions here, quality connections, definitely clean, Natasha, right? How do you track? Derek, yes, you're right. Contact mapping is a great tool. I can send you something, Janet, that'll help you out for tracking your relationships. Also, what I use, sometimes you want to be simple, is use your address book on your phone, right? You can simple address book, for example, your iPhone, your address book, and every time you communicate with someone that's on the notes, you type in some notes in there. Before I had any apps, right? That's something I did. And then I'll put on the calendar using Google Calendar, remind myself maybe every 3 months to touch base with that person. Okay, that's simple you can use. And the other question from Natasha before, Carmen, good to see you, my friend, was, do you have a calendar template? Yes, I do have calendar template. We will have that at the workshop next Saturday. Okay, and one other tip for you about creating content is if you're thinking about creating content for the whole world, or what I want to teach today, is very, very difficult, right? Because and I shared this with my group in the Purpose Driven Networkers group yesterday, that our brains work so much better when we have constraints, right? Constraints. So if someone asks you, like, name 5 foods that are white in color, really quickly, you're probably right. But if I said, can you name 5 dairy products that are white in color? That's probably a lot easier, right? Cheese, ice cream, milk, right? cream cheese, right? Lot eggs, a lot easier. So when you have constraint, that's why if you train someone, someone new, like, hey, make your contact list. People that go, I don't know anyone, they can list out of 10, 20 people. But when you say, hey, what are 20 people you went to high school with? What are 20 people you went to college with? It becomes a lot easier. Or who is your mailman? Who is your neighbor? Who lives behind you? It's so much easier to come up with when you have constraints. So think about if you're creating content ideas, is think about hey, so Natasha, what did you learn? 10 things you learned this weekend, right? At your convention, you can come up with those ideas, and then you go even dive in deeper, right? Just say, I learned a time management tip. What are 5 time management tips you could teach one of your team members? Go in constraints, and then that'll be much easier when you have boundaries. When you have no boundaries, it's really hard to come up with things. Another idea is like a constraint could be you take the stuff I teach on my pep talk every day, right? You take that, and then you go deep and give your own personal interpretation of that. So today I talk about relationships. Maybe you share a story. But wherever you have a constraint, I have constraints. Even come up with these topics, I have constraints. A big part of these topics are people I've interviewed on MM Nation, their favorite quote, their lesson. I write them down, and then I interpret them. Right? So that's out. Anyway, that is some tips, content creation tips. We'll talk more about that. If you're interested, we got a webinar coming up next week. It was a workshop. Drop a webinar or workshop in the comments. You're watching live on Instagram right now, send me a DM. You're watching on Facebook, just drop it in the comments. All right, everyone, that's all I got. Remember, work on those relationships, and you never work on one key relationship today. I know you might not don't have the time for like 10 people. Maybe with someone online or offline. Go out there, whether having lunch with someone or just spend moments. Someone that you know already. I'm not talking about someone new, someone you maybe old already. Get to know how they're doing, connect with them, because you never know where those relationships will take you. Hey, that's all I got. Go out there, work on that DMO, work on that relationship, and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless. See you back tomorrow.